All right, let's get into it. WordCamp US just finished up in Portland, and honestly, it felt like a totally different event this year. We're going to break down the three biggest themes that really stood out: a massive push into AI, a serious investment in education, and a community that's not just talking about problems, but actually solving them.
You know, the attendance numbers alone tell such an interesting story. Yeah, you can see the in-person number was down a bit from 2024, but look at that online viewership. It just exploded, with close to 18,000 people tuning in. So this isn't a story about a shrinking event. It's about a community that's reshaping itself, becoming this new kind of hybrid global gathering.
And the whole vibe on the ground really matched that forward-looking feeling. If you remember all the, let's call them fireworks, from 2024, this year was deliberately the opposite. Matt Mullenweg basically set the tone for the whole event with this line in his keynote. He was signaling a clear shift away from drama and toward, just building cool stuff together.
Now let's talk about the biggest topic of conversation, which was, without a doubt, artificial intelligence. But this wasn't just a bunch of vague, futuristic talk. No, this was all about the real, tangible building blocks that are being put in place right now to make AI feel like a native part of the whole WordPress experience. So here's the really crucial part. The new AI team isn't trying to cram AI directly into WordPress core itself. Instead, they're building these foundational tools to live alongside it. Think of it like they're creating a standardized Lego set. This way, any developer, anywhere in the ecosystem, can grab these pieces and start building powerful AI features in a consistent way. And that whole strategy, it's already starting to pay off in some really cool, visible ways. We literally saw an AI chatbot get prototyped in a single day using these new tools. Automatic also quietly launched an experiment called Telex, which can create a working plugin just from a simple text prompt. It's wild. And then you had keynotes like John Maida's, which was all about making these complicated ideas feel simple and accessible to everybody.
Mullenweg really nailed the perspective with this quote. As exciting as all this stuff is, we are at the very, very beginning of what's possible, especially with AI agents that can help manage our websites. Right now, it's like we're all learning to use the command line. The easy-to-use graphical interface version of all this, that's still to come. The potential is just massive.
Of course, you can't really talk about AI without talking about content and search engines. Danny Sullivan, who just recently left Google, gave a keynote that got a lot of people talking. His core message was simple: focus on making great stuff for people. But you could really feel the frustration in the room from some folks who've seen their traffic get hammered by recent algorithm updates. It just shows the tension that's bubbling under the surface right now.
All right, so let's shift gears to the next big theme. Because happening at the exact same time as this huge tech push with AI, there's an equally big push to invest in people, specifically bringing a whole new generation of users and builders into the WordPress world.
And this focus on education, it's not some 5-year plan. It is happening right now. Just look at this number, 570. That's how many students have already gotten their hands on WordPress through the brand new Campus Connect program. It's a really powerful sign that they're not just talking about the future, they're actively out there building it.
And this isn't just a US-based thing either. It's already going global. There's this great story about a student from Spain who earned a scholarship to fly out to WordCamp US just because of the work he did in the program. And get this, a university in Costa Rica is now going to offer actual course credits for contributing to WordPress. That's a total game changer.
And right alongside Campus Connect, you have other things like the Open Horizons Scholarship, which is all about making the community more accessible. They're funding travel for contributors from all over the world. It sends a really clear message that the project is all about building these diverse global relationships. So you've got this new tech and all these new people coming in. But what about the health of the community that's already here, the people doing the work? Well, that was another major focus. And it was all about real progress and not being afraid to rethink old habits.
For years, and I mean years, one of the biggest frustrations for developers was the plugin review queue. It was this notorious bottleneck where you could be waiting for months just to get your plugin approved. But just look at the difference now. Thanks to some dedicated mentoring and a little help from AI tools, that wait time is now down to less than a week. That is a huge win for the whole community.
And it turns out even the most established traditions are up for discussion. After jumping into Contributor Day himself, Mullenweg basically said, hey, maybe it's time to shake this up. He threw out the idea of giving it more of a competitive hackathon-style feel, which just shows there's a real willingness to experiment, to keep people excited and engaged.
So with all of that going on, the final part of the keynote was all about looking forward.
sharing some really impressive growth stats. And of course, the big reveal of where everyone's heading next year.
I mean, these numbers really speak for themselves. This is a picture of a super healthy, growing ecosystem. Traffic to WordPress.org is way up, social media reach is expanding, YouTube subscribers have almost tripled, and we're seeing a huge rebound in in-person events. The project's vital signs are looking really strong.
And then, the news everyone was waiting for. The next big WordCamp US is heading to a brand new city, Phoenix, Arizona. And yeah, that definitely got some reactions, especially since it's going to be in August.
But what I absolutely love is the reaction from the local Phoenix community. The organizers there were totally surprised by the announcement, but the response was just instant and full of excitement. This quote from Carol Stombog just perfectly captures that grassroots spirit of the project. A little bit of shock, a whole lot of excitement, and a let's-get-to-work attitude.
So it all kind of leaves us with this one big, fascinating question. We're stepping into a future where AI can build a website or a plugin from just a single sentence. In a world like that, what's a platform's most valuable asset? Well, if WordCamp US 2025 is any indication, WordPress is betting that its secret weapon isn't just the code, it's the deep investment in its people, its educational programs, and the incredible strength of its global community. And that might just be the thing that matters most.